Here we are in the engine bay. We got the driver's side manifold in place. We got the turbo in place on its mount, and we have the passenger side header as well in place. So now I'm going to start piping these primaries up. What I'm thinking for a route is that I'm going to come out of this V-band down at that angle and then look a 90 up right here and into a mitered fitting that's going to come into here. And the same thing is going to kind of happen with the driver's side manifold. I'm going to come out of the bottom underneath here somewhere and come up, and I'm going to skate underneath, and then over there I'm going to look a 90 up, a 90 in, and then a 45 into that turbo right there. And I'm thinking that at the top of them 90s, they're going to be looking up is where I'll have my wastegate placement. What my thought process here is that I was going to build from the header towards the turbo flange and the turbo flange towards the header, kind of meet in the middle, and that would hopefully help me get my measurements and help me to get the fit up spot on. The car isn't really sitting perfectly level in some planes, so what I like to do is use a digital angle finder so that I make sure that everything's perfectly straight and true with what it's running with. You can also see me here marking stuff with a Sharpie, and what I'm doing is I'm trying to get reference points so that I know how to take it back out and tack it together on the bench, so I don't have to do it when it's inside the car. You can see me measure between each face of the 90s right here, and what I'm looking for is, I'm looking for the longest distance, and that's what I'm going to cut it at, and if I have to, I'll just sand down one side so that it can match whatever slight angle might be between those two fittings, so it's a perfect fit. Alright, here we have our driver's side header already built, and we have the shortest, simplest route as possible, so that's looking real smooth. I try to pipe everything with the least amount of resistance as possible so it has the best flow, and all this turned out real good. Nice smooth transitions. And what I'm going to be doing next is I got to get that passenger side header over, and then we got to get the wastegates installed here. And that'll look up like this right out of the heel of those 90s. So I'm going to try to place that driver's side manifold about right here so that it can be two wastegates sitting right next to each other. I think that'll look real nice. like to take my stainless and prep it with a 3M buffing wheel on my bench grinder like you guys saw, and then I take acetone and wipe it all down, and that just makes sure there's no impurities in the metal, and it makes for real nice clean welds. That green line you guys see is a line laser, and I'm using that to make sure that I'm on the right center line so that I can tie into this T6 flange. This is a bellows expansion joint. This is going to go in between the driver's side header and the T6 flange. You can kind of see there's a lip right there, and I try to pipe it so that it's in direction of flow and it slips over the other streamlined side of the joint, and then there's no obstruction in there. Here we are so far, coming out of the driver's side header, and I'm just going to look it straight out this way, and then it's going to look at 90 up and into that V-band right there. Right here, all I'm doing is using a level and a measuring stick to get accurate measurements from center to end for each pipe. I decided to get this piece tacked on inside the car. I wanted to make sure that it had perfect fitment in the way I wanted it, and this was kind of my out piece, so it just made sense to do it in place. We got both of our primaries ran over to our T6 flange. It's all tacked together looking good. Now we just have to get the wastegates in and get this thing welded out. That's it for this. Don't forget to like and subscribe. God bless, and I'll catch you on the next one.